there we go. All right, making sure the audio is good as always. How's everyone doing? Jonathan with Circuit, and definitely a lot to cover. A lot going on in the world, as we already know. But just taking it day by day and doing the best with what we have. So, the wallet version 2.0 has been released. Tim, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Again, just really a lot going on. We can see a lot of it is going to, especially in the racing, we're seeing everything is switching over, for the most part, over to the iRacing. Just because, I don't like, not to go too much into depth, but we know what's going on with the virus and everything. And the biggest thing is just not panicking, staying calm. We'll get through it. So the Circuit Wallet version 2.0 has been released. This is a big release. It truly is. With PIVX, with every wallet, with every project that has been released, there's a wallet that they spliced off of. Of course, Bitcoin was the first, and then coins push off from there. But PIVX released one of their primary versions, so Circuit version 2.0 has been released. And there's a lot of new features that go along with that. We'll cover a little bit of that later. The racing lineup 2024 Circuit has been released. So we'll cover that, but it's amazing to actually have all the racers on a basically a postcard of some sort, but just showcasing all the names, what genre they're within. We have that. There's actually something we'll cover at the end, but this is going along with the iRacing series. Definitely a lot going on. On Twitter, we broke over 20. Well, we're over 2,600 followers now. That was awesome to see, from going from 1 follower or 0 followers to now over 2,600. Definitely very thankful for everyone for their support, amazing feedback, and then very excited moving forward. So also another thing that we did implement, and you can actually go to our website right here, is going to be the mobile background. So for your Android, for your iPhone or iOS or however, you just click on it and it'll bring it up right here. So this is the background. Of course, it's free to download. We're not charging anything for it. But it's as simple as that. You just go here, getting started, go to mobile backgrounds, Android and iOS. Let's see what else we got. So, let me go over to, bring it up over here. So we do have the lineup right here. So this is the 2020 racing season. This is all the drivers right here. You can see their name, and then off to the right, you'll see if it's a sports truck, late model, legend. Very thankful for all the drivers that have joined in Team Circuit. It's truly an honor. These are very prestigious drivers, I will say. And I think I keep on harping on this, but it's amazing that these individuals, they believe in what Circuit is and this cryptocurrency, this new age technology. 10, 20 years ago, 10 years when Bitcoin was created, no one really had any idea that it would grow up to what it is now. It was actually kind of funny that with Inspector Security, there was a trivia night. One of the questions was how much Bitcoin was spent on 2 large pizzas. And it was actually 10,000 Bitcoin, and that was back in 2010. So no one really knew it would grow up to be what it is today. And it's just amazing to see that these drivers are here with us for going into the 2020 season. And again, truly an honor. So thank you to all the drivers, our full support, and definitely safe driving out there. So, the 2020 racing lineup. Let's go back over to desktop, and we're going to bring up the roadmap. So this is something that I periodically go back and just cover over as the roadmap. We can see 2020 now. It is broken down to the 4 quarters. So of course we're in quarter 1 right now, going into quarter 2, and just giving everyone an update. And that's a big reason that I switched over from being into more of the trading aspect to now, a year or so ago, going into the more of being behind the scenes. To actually see what the project's doing, not so much kind of guessing like maybe what the people at corporate, in the sense, for cryptocurrency, not really having a good idea of what they're doing, and maybe they're not updating the community. They're just taking the community for granted, which at Circuit is definitely not the case. Just, where we started to where we've come so far. Definitely never take anyone for granted. So acquiring the additional sponsorship with the accomplished driver. So as we saw on the last screen, Angela is within the Dragster. She's a Dragster driver. And we did secure this, I would say 2 weeks ago. So we have check mark off that. Designing the marketing material. This is going with the pamphlets, the business cards. I actually have the banners right over to my left. So that has actually been checked off. We have designed it. The last thing we're needing to do is for the upcoming mass distribution. So everything's been designed. It's really just coming down to printing and distributing. Establishing the strategic cryptocurrency partnership, that has been completed. That hasn't been released to the public as of yet, but I can say that has been completed, and it's a very positive strategic partnership. Very excited for that. Expanding over 3,000 members across the circuit community. This has been accomplished as well. Within the Twitter, we have Discord, we have Facebook. Instagram, so on and so forth. 3,000 has been breached, so that can be checked off right there. Releasing the 2020 circuit sponsored racing lineup, we have completed that as well. So that's also checked off. And now we're going into quarter two. So everything was completed within quarter one. Now with some of these going into the future, there's really a lot to it, especially when it's within quarter two. Broadcasting the official rewards website. That actually goes along with the mobile technology. And this is a really big thing. We've actually been working on this since, I would say quarter four of last year. And there's really, again, a lot goes into it. We want to make sure that the user interface is professional, it's polished. And we could really throw anything out there, but that's not what Circuit's about. We just don't put something together, throw it out there, and everyone just be happy with it. We really put a lot of time and dedication into anything that we do. As you can see with the merchandise that we do have. Now this is actually a custom order. So the custom order did come out. It really just comes down to finalizing the shop, getting that placed onto the Circuit website for everyone else to enjoy. But this is, again, just kind of giving an idea of what the t-shirts look like. We have the patches on the side. So we have the 01 CRCT for the ticker symbol. Circuit's right on the front. And then, of course, there's the back piece that has the 01 and cryptocurrency down the spine. Very nice, and the fabric is really, really nice as well. So very excited about that. The Circuit design team is truly phenomenal. Over 25 years of experience, and I couldn't be more happy with it. So again, within quarter two, acquiring the sponsorship with the multi-country car club, that is in the works. It has been finalized, as I've said before, but again, it really comes down to working out some of the how do I put this? Finalizing some of the finer details. That's the best way to put it. Now, of course, announcing the marketing material, that just came down to printing it and distribution. Now as I've already said, with the rewards website and the mobile wallet technology, that's just coming for making sure that it's polished, professional. When it pushes out, is user-friendly, which is a big thing, especially in cryptocurrency, and we are within the racing industry. Not everyone is familiar with what cryptocurrency is, so it's just new, just like how it was when switching over from using cash and checks to debit cards. Even though like today it doesn't seem like a big change, back then it was much different. If you grew up with it, then you're just used to it. So now going over to this cryptocurrency, even though it is a minute change, it's still a change. So implementing the routine live streaming events, that's kind of what we're doing right now. So we're on track. And then renovating the Circuit website, we have accomplished that, and it's come out very nice. You can see the design work. We do have the buttons right here, so you can press them and go straight to it. Switching over to the next one, we'll have it right here, downloading the wallet, which is the version 2.0. And so again, within version 2.0, we do have where you can save addresses. So you'll have addresses within the wallet, You save it, and then you can just push it out from there. You don't have to continue to retype the address that you want to send it over to. Of course, with our transaction fees, transaction times, transaction fee is 0.0002 circuit, which is, I mean, it's basically not even there. Uh, it's way less than a penny, which is, I mean, you can't even compare that to anything that goes on today with any type of credit card. I mean, it just blows everything out of the water. Transaction times are basically, I mean, you can snap your finger, it's there from here to Japan. So something that we take a lot of pride into. Let's see. All right, let's switch over. So we have covered the roadmap. We covered over Q1, Q2. We did cover over the mobile, as far as the mobile backgrounds. So we got here. So this is actually just something that I ran across. A lot of people are already familiar with it, but the professionals, a lot of professionals in different racing aspects are going over to iRacing, and it's just because with the virus that's going on, people, they don't want people in larger groups. So this is a way to still facilitate the racing industry, still have the enjoyment, and I think it's a great step. And this is really a big thing, is that everything is going over technology based. So I know I've even heard of certain locations that won't even take the fiat. They won't take any paper money because, of course, you're handling it from one individual to the other. And that's, I mean, that's the quickest way for anything to travel. So going forward from that, and now we're going over to, I mean, like if you were to have a mobile wallet, then you slide it, and there's no transaction or anything like that. So they're not taking any fiat. Now switching over to this, now iRacing, technology based. So everything's really just coming together for this huge burst in cryptocurrency. No, I mean, it's really, it's coming, even though this is a very unfortunate event, this is really just broadcasting why cryptocurrency is so important. Even though people weren't getting the grasp of the transaction fees and the transaction times, which just make complete sense, now they're understanding a lot can be transmitted through just handling of objects. So of course, I mean, you're still like handling your phone and everything that, but you're not exchanging any type of like concrete object. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool, iRacing, and there's actually, again, there's something that we will cover for that. Now let me go back over to the circuit website. For one thing, to get it started, if you actually go to the faucet, just ensure that you do have the desktop wallet. Right here, you can just click, you'll get version 2.0. Once you've downloaded that, you can actually go over to the faucet. The promo code that we have right now is First Racing Coin, all one word, all caps. So once you type that in within the promo code section of the faucet, then you can get up to 500 additional circuits. So it's a phenomenal opportunity to, I mean, add to the investment that you do have within circuit, the amount of coin that you do have. So just making sure that everyone knew of that. Now the big thing that I had, and this will also be pushed out on Twitter, and we can actually see right here. So these are 4 designs that has been pushed out from our design team. Again, this will be pushed on Twitter. There'll be a vote on it. But the one that's selected is going to be the one that we're going to be able to push through into iRacing. Not saying that we are conducting a partnership with iRacing at this time, but this is something that's going to be pushed out through for the circuit drivers. I love all these designs. I will say number 4 is my choice. Number 2 or number 4, but number 4 is really nice. But yeah, so again, it'll be pushed out through all of our social medias. Everyone will take a vote, and then which one ever has the most votes, that's the one that's going to be pushed out. I thought this was actually kind of cool. I was looking through just our library of all of our icons. But if you actually look, so this is the this is the first image. Nice. Yeah, this is the first image that was ever created for Circuit. So we actually came up with the name, and we're like, you know, what is this going to be? And, you know, Circuit just fits because it's a circuit, like, as far as, like, the racing aspect, and Circuit as far as, like, the electronic aspect. So came out with Circuit, and you can see the we still have, like, the World Rally, Supercross, IndyCar, so on and so forth. This has actually changed a lot. You can see the circuits within here. and we do have so much of the track. So it's always interesting to go back and see where you started. Like this is where we started, and then now, I mean, you know, we have the patch right here, the most updated. So going from this and then switching over to where we are today. Let me see if I can bring this over a little bit. Yeah, so I mean, definitely a big change. I thought this would just be something kind of cool to look at. I was looking through everything, and we can see that the background's changed. The colors in the back right here, the reason we changed those is kind of like if you're visualizing a podium, you can see first place, second place, and then third place off to the my right. But it originally was gold, silver, bronze, and now we have the gold, silver, and then the bronze over here. But yeah, kind of a cool thing to cover. Let's see. But yeah, if anyone has any questions whatsoever, so there actually interesting thing that just popped up was number 4. That's exactly. I like number 4 as well. Again, the car designs has changed so much. I'd have to look through for a little bit to actually find. Look at this. I could take a few seconds to actually see. Oh. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to find it, but the first design is just so different. It's so different. It's wild. I want to see it. Yeah. I mean, we could definitely see. I could shoot a message over and see what we can do for you, Justin. Again, thank you so much for being here. But yeah, the first logo is just so. It's just so different. It's changed so much. But actually, you can see on the hood of it. This isn't the first logo right here, but this is like the second one that came, like right after the first one I just showed. This was the second one that dropped. And then, of course, we're implementing the stars right here. We do have the 01, just like we have the 01 on the back right here. Awesome. Thank you so much. But yeah, so I was about to say, so a lot of it's going over to the iRacing. Of course, we do have, officially, we do have one iRacer that we do sponsor. Granted, there is another one that races every Monday night, Robert. A really good guy. He's really good driver. He truly is. But we haven't nailed anything down as far as like a sponsorship. Now, we do have Christian West. He won round 3 of the SARG Legend Car Series. Hopefully I got the acronym correct. But we are actually speaking with an individual. And as something that we do want to bring to this channel is more of a... how can I word it without spoiling it? Bringing racing more to life. So I mean, we do have more of the administrative as far as what's currently being conducted, giving everyone like an overview, interacting with the community, which we love to do, but bringing more of a racing aspect as far as, I mean, just watching the racing. So, but we are speaking with an organization that actually facilitate the constructing of iRacing modules, if that makes sense. If you've ever seen anyone iRacing and they're like really into it, they'll have the chair, they'll have the steering wheel, they have the gear shift, the pedals. Well, this organization actually creates them. So again, with iRacing and of course with Circuit being technology based, it really just all goes together perfectly. And this is something that we're really looking forward to. Hopefully everything goes well. But we'll make sure we keep the community up to date. Jimmy Broadbent? That doesn't ring a bell, Tim. Sorry. It's probably something I should know, but I'll give him a review. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, probably very well talented. Again, there's just so many, truly. But yeah, I mean, that's a very, and granted, what we're wanting to what we're wanting to implement into the this YouTube channel is more of the racing aspect, and what I've just mentioned is what we're trying to go more towards. So it would be phenomenal to create some type of partnership where this will be put together, and yeah, really just bring it to life. Of course, like I said, the administrative part, that's very important, but the entertainment, that's really what racing is all about. I think people, they want to hear what everything that's going on, but when it comes down to the racing, that's why people are really here. For the excitement, for the high speed, and then of course I know there's people there for the crashes. there's always people that want to see that. Trent, thank you so much for being here. But yeah, that's something that I'm really looking forward to. There's just so much potential. Having 9 sponsored drivers now, we've been out publicly released for about 8 months. So being 8 months, having 9 sponsored drivers, having the awesome partners, sponsors that we do have, definitely don't take it for granted. Very excited, very honored, very humbled for everything that we have. Really, I mean, there's just so much. I mean, even though we've accomplished a great amount, there's so much further that we're going to go. This is only the beginning. This is definitely something that we live by within Circuit. Is every single day we work towards something, and that's how we keep moving forward. So as long as we're focusing on one thing every single day, and I've even said this for quite some time, there's no worries of not reaching your milestone, not reaching success. You just have to make sure you work every day. Don't be discouraged. That's a big thing, just being discouraged. A lot of people, the biggest thing is just not quitting. So, it really is. Like, it seems so simple, so cliche. Like, I was watching something shortly ago, but someone was like, I just didn't quit, and everyone's like, oh, he just didn't quit. Obviously, he's here because he didn't quit. But like, when you're really like everything going on, and if it's not just like the work aspect, if it's the family aspect, and it's just draining you, and you're like, why am I even here? That's really what it comes down to. Is you have to remind yourself, like, this is why I'm here. Within Circuit, there's a lot of long days, and not saying that there isn't within any other organization, but personally from Circuit, with the staff that we do have, the awesome staff, there's a lot of long days. There truly is, but we all know why we're here. We all know how great this is going to be, and it's just about working day after day after day. I think one thing that I take from my dad, which is, it's kind of a silly saying, but like, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? Like, it's like this really, like, what? Like, who came up with that? But, it's something to just kind of think of. It's like you have this huge project, and it's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to complete this? Like, I got to get from, like, when you're looking at the, the roadmap that we had, when we started at the beginning of this year, our community was maybe like, it was maybe over 1,000 members. There really wasn't this huge community, and people, they, think however they wanted to, and it was like, goodness, how are we gonna get from 1,000 to 3,000, and this huge thing, and it's not like you can just like, get like people just to join your project and say, hey, that's cool. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of planning. But every single day just working towards something, and then now we've achieved it, and it's awesome. As you can see, our first social media that we did truly focus on was Twitter. When we were first beginning, we didn't have additional time, unfortunately, to really have these live streaming events. There was just a lot that we had to do, and it was just constant, and there was certain things where just I could receive a message any moment. It would be like, hey, we got to do this. And we'd be working on it for hours. July 7th, when we released, we were working from that morning of the 6th. So we were working the morning of the 6th, and it was about to hit midnight, and I was like, I'm exhausted, I'm going to bed. And then it would drop down from the developer, hey, this is getting released now, we need to push out. So we started working the morning of the 6th all the way into about noon on the 7th, and that's the day that it was released. So that was definitely a true test, but it was just certain things like that. But now that we do have this ability to speak with the community, answer any questions anyone has, more than happy to do so, and more than happy to really get everyone's ideas and thoughts. Just like with this going on right here, number 4 is also really cool. Just letting you know. But this will be pushed out on Twitter. Actually, number 1 actually looks kind of cool. This is actually kind of hard. But this will be pushed out on Twitter. Just to get everyone's ideas and being implemented into the iRacing scene. And when Robert, one of the drivers within iRacing, he was sporting the circuit wrap. It was noticed by one of the commentators, and they saw that it was actually really cool and it stood out. And it's just little subtle things like that it's like, oh, hey, that's kind of cool. But people are gonna like remember, like, hey, that was actually kind of cool, and then it sparks, and it just like, hey, did you see that design? And that's just kind of how it spreads. So even those really things that may seem minute in the moment, that's why we take so much time making sure that everything is professional, everything is polished, because we could, again, just kind of push it out. Here you go, enjoy it. But that extra time that we take, on the surface, it may not seem like, this is huge thing. But the one thing you have to remember in anything that you do, especially with any type of organization or any project, is first impressions are very important. But every single day is a first impression. Every single day, some new person, some new individual, or whoever is going to see your project and then they're going to judge on what they see. So if you're having an off day, the team was having an off day, and it's like, I'll just push it, I don't care. And then that's the first thing someone sees, then they're going to be like, well, that looks like crap. Why should I even take my time in this project? It looks like crap. And that may be the only thing that may be off a little bit, but that's the first impression. So that's why we take so much additional time to make sure that everything just looks spot on. I mean, with these designs, Dan does a phenomenal job in any design work that he does, but we can see so many evolutions of the car design. I wish I could find the one that was actually like the, let me see, I may have actually already closed it out, but the first logo was on the side. It had you could actually see the actual circuits, and it just said circuit. There was no tag phrase. There wasn't any stars. There wasn't any stripes down the side. There wasn't anything like that. It was just that's it. But we can see like the additional time and the effort and the passion that goes into it. And that's a phenomenal thing about cryptocurrency projects. And I'm not going to say like all of them, because there's never going to be 100%. But I will say a good amount of them. The phenomenal thing about these cryptocurrency projects is they're there because they want to be there. It's not like, oh, I gotta go here because I gotta get a paycheck to feed the family. It's not that. This is my off time, and I'm dedicating it to this because I believe in this project. I mean, even though they may receive some type of like cryptocurrency payout, that doesn't mean that every cryptocurrency project, especially when it first initially starts, the coin isn't going to be worth $1,000 a coin. That's not how it works. That's how it's never worked that way. I mean, even with Binance coin, which is at $26 something around there. It started, I believe, at like less than a penny, but we know how big Binance is. Now there are coins that will be released, like we can see Tron, of course, with the BTT, whatever Justin's implementing with that. I don't follow Justin too much. I have my own thoughts on him, but that's nor here or there, or however you want to say it. Everyone has their own way of projecting their project. With Circuit, I believe, and I've always believed, projecting our professionalism, our dedication, our drive, our passion, that's the way to go about it. Some projects out there just want to basically just say we're better than this coin, and then they just stir up this big fight, and then everyone's like, hey, no, that coin said they're better than this coin, and then that's how they get recognition. And that's not how we want to go about it. Is it going to spread recognition like wildfire? More than likely, but that's just not the best way to go about it. So again, everyone has their own marketing tactics, and that's fine. So enough about that. But yeah, so we've covered a lot of stuff. We've covered over the mobile backgrounds. We've covered over the 2020 roadmap. We did cover over how iRacing is really becoming this. I mean, we can even see that Coca-Cola invested, I believe, it's $2 million into the iRacing scene. So, it's really just growing. It truly is. And I promise, like basically what we're going through right now, it would be way different if we weren't as our technology wasn't as advanced as it is. Because people are here, they're at their where they live, and it's just like, well, I have my computer, I have my gaming systems, I didn't raid the toilet paper, but people out there did. So back 100 years ago, it would have been way different. So everything really is going over to technology. Cryptocurrency, I've always, not always, because it hasn't been around for only a decade, but I truly believe this is the wave of the future. It just makes sense to me from a financial aspect, really from any aspect. It just makes sense. It really does. Within, let's say, the United States, for example, this cryptocurrency, is it like this big necessity? Are people using it every single day on a large scale? No. Is it possible? Absolutely, but no, not this point. Well, if we look at other countries that they're, let's say, their fiat value is so diluted from just overprinting or however, cryptocurrency holds value more. And we can even see, within the stock market compared to cryptocurrency, yes, they're both on a downslide in a sense. But we can see the injection into the stock market. There was a $1.5 trillion injection into the stock market. Could you imagine if that was with cryptocurrency? That would be wild. Wow, that would change the game. Because, cryptocurrency as a whole, I believe it's a $157 billion industry. At the all-time high, it was at $839 billion. I always kind of guess around the 800 because I don't have the exact figure, but it was about $840 billion. So imagine a $1.5 trillion injection into cryptocurrency. Wow, that would be wild. So, there's just so much potential with cryptocurrency as far as just the overall growth. For the people or the individuals that use it, not a lot of people are really and that's the big thing, not a lot of people are actually going to use cryptocurrency on a daily basis. One, because it's more of an investing tool. I wouldn't buy anything with Bitcoin or Litecoin, because why would I? It doesn't make sense. The investment aspect is so much more. I was actually watching something probably on YouTube, but there's a commercial where they're like, if you invested in gold 20 years ago, you would have 400% your investment. I'm like, four times your investment? Am I supposed to be happy about this? 4 times, that's it? There's so many cryptocurrencies that you can invest in, and if you invest in them right now, you would get 100+ times your investment. I can name a dozen right off the bat. Especially, well, not so much with Litecoin. At this point in time, if it broke, if the cryptocurrency market broke over 1 trillion, absolutely. Not so much for, I won't say Bitcoin, but Litecoin has a lot of potential, and a lot of people say that Litecoin should be a fourth of the value of Bitcoin. Not to go so much off the topic, but again, cryptocurrency as a whole, because with Circuit, we are paired with Bitcoin. So as Bitcoin goes up, Circuit, even if it stays at the exact Satoshi amount, it still goes up. So if it goes up a Satoshi value, it goes up. If Bitcoin goes up, it goes up. And there's just so much. I don't really follow the market too much in Circuit because that's more of a community aspect. Within the Circuit team, we don't deal with the exchange personally whatsoever, but we know that the community is more involved. So just taking a look at Circuit, at 2 Satoshi, if it were to go to 4 Satoshi, it's already 100% your investment. And I can't go into too much depth because it is in regards to an exchange, but how do I put this? Let's say, okay, so circuit could go up 10 times off a $300 purchase. So if someone were to buy $300 of circuit, your investment portfolio would go up 1,000%. That's just what I've heard on the streets. But and it's just crazy because I don't think individuals are too aware of. Yes, we all know Litecoin, we all know Bitcoin, but you have to look at these smaller projects that are just coming out with the potential. It's just wild. It truly is. I can say just because I know numbers a little bit, but if Circuit were to go up to 10 sats, and I don't like covering the financials parts too much because that's not really my realm within like I can't really cover it too much from a team aspect, but I do follow the numbers. So Circuit were to go up to 10 sats, which is really easy. I think that's like $400 or $500 a circuit. It would be over a $1 million market cap. So I mean that's just pretty crazy just thinking of that, like just that small amount. And imagine 100 people in the exchange. I mean the investment opportunity is just off the charts, and I hope we do see a lot of these. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, think long term. I mean, really think. Yeah, exactly. And that's what people aren't really thinking long term, unfortunately. Like we can even look and let's say people like they always say, oh, if you bought Amazon when it first came out, if you bought Netflix when it first came out, if you bought Netflix when it first came out, I think the IPO was $3. I could be wrong, but I think it was like it was like $3 or $5. It was probably more than that. It's probably like $10. But either way, if you were to buy Bitcoin when it first came out and you were to sell it in 2017 at the all-time high, every single dollar you invested, $1 would be equivalent to $90,000. You're not going to see that in stocks ever. I can promise you that. You'll never see that in stocks. There's no stock ever where if you invested $1, your $1 would turn into $90,000. It will never happen. I can promise you that. It would never happen. It would never happen. I mean, even with staying on the New York Stock Exchange, there's certain criteria that these stocks have to meet. Of course, they have to have like their meetings. They have to push up all their their quarterly results and everything, but it just wouldn't happen. Especially with like these coins, Circuit, for example, 0.000. However, it's not even. It's like 1/1000. It's like a thousandth of a penny. Like, yeah, like let's just think, people. Come on. Like, why does no one get this? Like, it's just weird. Like going off a rant, not even a rant. I mean, this is just kind of like thinking outside the box. From more of like the background, obviously, like from a stock market background, cryptocurrency trading background, it just makes sense. I've never shorted any type of cryptocurrency because why? Why would I? Yes, there's opportunities like what's occurred, but I took this opportunity in a different manner. There's just so much that you can do. And we can see a lot of these hedge funds are going over to these cryptocurrency-based investing, which I think is obviously the right choice. A lot of people think it's just going to like poof out of midair, like boom, oh, it's gone, no more cryptocurrency. Like that's ever going to happen. That's not going to happen. The only time that would happen if there's some solar flare and all the electricity goes out forever. That's the only way. There's no way that this, I mean, several billion, I can't even say several billion because it's over $100 billion industry. At one time, almost $1 trillion industry is just going to disappear overnight. That's not going to happen. Why? People are too greedy. Why? Because people want these pristine investment opportunities for when they retire. The younger generation, the younger individuals are going to want to go into these investment opportunities that are going to provide more risk, but there's going to be a more high of a gain. Of course, when you get like closer to your retirement, you don't want to be into anything that's like, you know, too off the wall where you could like lose everything overnight, which I mean, I guess that's possible, but it just makes sense. Everything is more technology based. We can see that more and more every day. The younger generation, and speaking of like 5, 6, 7-year-olds are using iPhones like better than I use an iPhone. Like it, I mean, how do people not see this? It's crazy to see YouTube videos, people talking about Bitcoin back in 2011. They're like, just buy $5 of Bitcoin, you can get all this Bitcoin. And people are like, yeah, no, I'm not going to invest in Bitcoins. It's stupid. And then they see it go up to $20,000 and they're like, I'm stupid. You know, you just got to think outside the box. You know, they tell you get your education, get a job, work till you're 65 years old, and that's your life. You had fun, right? Why do we have to live by this guideline that's been provided to us? Yes, get your education. You want to ensure that you have some type of intelligence, but that doesn't mean just go by what's been laid out for you. I believe, you know, again, you want to be passionate about what you do. Yes, you have to provide for your family, you have to pay bills, and not everyone loves their job, but take risk, take opportunities. Not saying sell your house and invest into you know, something crazy, but you know, and the way that I'm wrapping all this into circuit, this huge thing is well, I just lost track of what I was saying. Oh yeah, is taking risk and opportunities. There was no competitive racing cryptocurrency. There was none. There was none. Why was there none? After 10 years of cryptocurrency being out, why was there none? Because everyone was staying with this specific formula. It's got to be a security coin. It's got to be a privacy coin. It's got to be strictly POW coin, like Bitcoin or Litecoin. It's got to be that. But why is it got to be that? You have to think outside the box. That's where the reward is. More risk, more reward, but you have to be knowledgeable about how you go about it. You have to be secure about how you go about it. Also, be passionate about what you're chasing. Anyone that's passionate about what they're doing is going to achieve much higher than someone that's not. Why is that? In my mind, is because they're going to put more time into it, more dedication. They're going to have more pride in it. And that's the big thing, is take pride. Have pride in I mean, like with Circuit, just wearing this, you have to have the pride of it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, that's right on point. It's different. This is the first of its kind, first cryptocurrency of competitive racing. Oh yeah, just speak on that. If anyone's played The Crew 2, phenomenal game. It's been out for like a year, but it incorporate, and that's something that sneak peek is kind of something that we'll want to implement into this YouTube channel. Is it incorporates everything competitive racing. I mean, not everything, but it's got monster trucks. It has off-road. It has drag. It has drift. Circuit, like the street. It has everything. With Forza, for Dan, our lead design, also a founder on this team, Dan's actually put together different wraps, and the amount of wraps that are downloaded on those games, he showed me the statistics, is crazy. People are downloading this like it's candy. like people see it and they're like, that looks cool. Like, you know, it's something different. Like, they may not be familiar with like what Circuit is or like the website or anything, but they see it and they're drawn to it. And that's the thing, is making it visually pleasing. They see it, they're drawn to it. That's I heard about it, never played. Yeah, I mean, it's really good. I mean, granted, I don't have all the time in the world, unfortunately, because there's just so much behind the scenes in Circuit. But whenever I'm like eating, like that's actually when I get my breaks, is when I'm eating. But when I'm eating, I'll play it for like 30 minutes or so, and it's really fun. it's really cool. But yeah, with the downloads and these different games, it's just wild. So having like that, and also within iRacing, just having the different wraps, people can download them, people can use them for their own. We do have now the mobile, wallpapers. Oh, my apologies. Um, but yeah, there's just so much going on. There's just so much opportunity, and so much advancement, and like even with the thing that I show with the logo, going from there to now where we are, and then now to the future, there's just so much potential. And anyone can look back, like they say, oh, if you invest in Amazon or whatever. I mean, yeah, if you invest in Amazon, it'd be pretty good. But if you invest in whatever 20 years ago, like, you got to think about the journey. Like, people want to look at the destination, but it's not all about the destination. Like, and I said this in the last stream, I'm pretty sure, but if I gave you $1,000,000, everyone would be like, yeah, oh, $1,000,000, I'd be so happy. And like, but you wouldn't be happy because you have $1,000,000 and you were just given it. So yeah, you go buy your Lambo and you buy a house, maybe, if you didn't spend it all on cars already, and that would be it. And then you'd be like, okay, well, where do we go from here? But the journey, like with Circuit, like we started here. All the people that we met, all the drivers that are now we sponsor, meeting all of them, being able to talk with them, and really just having like this amazing staff. Meeting with the founders, like when all the founders of Circuit came together, and like having the journey all the way. And then when you reach the destination, there's just so much more that's brought to it. It's not just like, boom, I just want to be there, get it over with, and now we're all millionaires, yay. It's not even about that. Circuit's not about becoming a millionaire or anything like that. It's the passion, the dedication, ensuring the continual growth of the racing industry. That's the big thing. That's why I take pride in this project, is because there's just so much more to it. And as it was mentioned earlier, it's new. It's the first of its kind. No one, for 10 years, no one said, hey, racing's cool. Like, it just didn't happen. like maybe someone said, hey, racing would be cool. And I'll even admit, when Dan and I were speaking, one of the other founders, and we're like, hey, we want, like, this project, we want to be in this project. We were thinking of something to be based off of. And, okay, security coins, privacy coins. Okay, there's just so much. But yeah, I mean, it's soon to come. Don't get me wrong. There's no way that it's not. I mean, let's just be honest. But when we came together, he's like, why don't we do a racing coin? And I was like, racing? No. Like, well, where would we even start? Like, who would even believe in this racing coin? Like, I mean, like, seriously, it's the new thing. Like, even when Bitcoin first came out, it was like, yeah, it's not, like, I'll even admit this. My cousin mentioned Bitcoin to me in 2011, and he said, hey, I might buy some of this computer money. And I was like, computer money? What is it? And he's like, I don't know. I was like, what do you do with it? He's like, I don't know. And he's like, I might just buy some and see what happens. And I'm like, how much is it? And he's like, $1. And I'm like, why? Oh, God. Yeah. But I mean, at the time, no one thought like this computer money. I mean, you can see all these, like when you're playing a game and you can buy this in-game currency. No one's like, oh yes, in-game currency is going to be the big thing. Like, no one's thinking that. No one's ever really thought that, I don't think. But it's really just about taking chances. So when he said racing, I was like, I mean, we enjoy racing, but are people really going to believe in this? Does the racing industry even really care about like digital currency? I mean, like, because it's the first of its kind. Like, normally racers, racing fans, drivers, they're not behind a computer. Like individuals with security. Of course, security, you're behind a computer, you're doing your thing, and yes, you would already be incorporated into any type of digital currency because you're already there. With drivers, with racing fans that are out, I mean, a great majority of them aren't behind a computer a great deal of time, so why would they even care about this? But yeah, we launched, and Scott Dinin, the legend car driver, was the first individual he reached out to, and he was really excited about it. Like, you know, it was awesome to see that this digital currency project wanted to see the continuous growth of the racing industry, because we can see the racing industry is a huge industry. It's over $10 billion industry. Like, let's say 2 decades ago, NASCAR was the big thing. NASCAR is still a big thing, don't get me wrong, but back then it was a huge thing. Now there's just so many splices of competitive racing, and we have more of the street racing, and there's so many genres that fall under the street racing. Now we have drones. I mean, that wasn't around 20 years ago, so it's spliced off. But that's just so much more opportunity for advancement of the continual growth of all the racing industry. It's not like circuit is only limited to NASCAR. And that's what a lot of people associate as just NASCAR. Like just NASCAR. But it's not just NASCAR. It could be NASCAR. It could be Formula 1 or 2 or street racing, monster trucks. I mean, with the white paper, it lines out everything. I mean, we could even bring up the white paper. If I can. I mean, yeah, with the multiple languages. So, I mean, there's 4 languages for the white paper. So, yeah, again, with the white paper, I mean, this shows everything broken down. All the information. We can see the primary audiences right here. Yeah, cycling with the drag. We do have a drag racer. Go-kart. Christian West is actually a go-kart racer as well, not only iRacer. He does both. A little knowledge people may not know, but that is within his bio. Street racing, that goes with the car club. Those are finer details to be worked out. We do have NASCAR. We have monster truck. I mean, like everything. So this list includes, but not limited to. So it's not like circuit just stops at one of them. Like, boom, that's it. If you're an iRacer, nope, sorry, we're only NASCAR. It doesn't work like that. there's so many aspects. There's so much. I mean, we're just scratching the surface. Yes, we have 9 sponsored cars or drivers. I'm sorry. We have more vehicles that actually have the logo on them. But as far as the drivers, we have 9 of them. But that's only scratching the surface. There's just so much more to go about it. We're not even to our year of being publicly launched. So imagine where we are now, and then, I mean, like from there, I mean, there's just so much more to be accomplished. You can see that the Twitter is now over 2,600 members. And actually, I can go over right here. We do have this. So we can see the Twitter followers right here, over 2,600. That is awesome. And this is another design from Dan. So again, Dan does phenomenal work. Definitely amazing at graphics. Over 25 years of experience and expertise. So we do have 2,642 the Twitter followers. We can also see the YouTube subs 184, which is awesome. There's so much going on. Let me go ahead and fix my green screen a little bit. There we go. But yeah, there's just really so much. I mean, seeing where it started to seeing where it is now, I can always say there's so much more to go. Like, you know, but I would rather show you than just keep on saying, nope, there's just so much more to go. Yep. You know, like that's not the tactic that we have. It's not, oh, we're better than this coin. I'm not going to name the reasons, but we're better. It's not even, that's not how we go about it, because that's why. There's no honor in doing that. Why do it? Let's just show you how amazing Circuit is. We'll show you how far Circuit's going to go, all the way to the top. There's just so much, and there's so many people that believe in this project. When we mention digital currency, we mention the world's first competitive racing coin. We mention everything like that. People get excited because they see that it's a rejuvenation of the competitive racing industry. A lot of people are breaking off into different genres, but an actual new age technology, the younger generation is what's going to run the world. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. So, I mean, that's who is looking at the. That's really where the technology usage is. I mean, yes, of course, like my grandmother is texting, which is different, I guess. But the new generation, the young generation, not so much new, but the young generation is the ones that are believing in this new age technology, this technology advancement which, I mean, we can see so much has changed over 10 years. Even with the beginning of Bitcoin, and now we can see these coins with their transaction times, their transaction fees. Because I'm not going to lie, Bitcoin's transaction fee is really high. But, I mean, granted, it is in retrospect of how much Bitcoin is valued at. I mean, value at $20,000 a coin, yes, the transaction fee is going to be a lot more. But the transaction times are much slower compared to a lot of the new age, especially with circuits. Not trying to, push down Bitcoin whatsoever, because obviously we're paired with Bitcoin. But that's just how much technology has changed over it. So like people that want to push down Bitcoin and say all these negative things, like, yes, it is somewhat obsolete because in the manner that the technology is older, but it's just how you go about it. It's not, it's just, Bitcoin is a decade older. So you look at if you look at a 2010 vehicle to a 2020 vehicle, yes, there's going to be big differences. That's just kind of how it is because technology is advancing. So every single year we're going to be able. I remember when my mom, she had a car fully loaded, and the cool thing was it had power locks and power windows. Like, okay, if I didn't have power locks and power windows today, everything's power locks, power windows. I mean, you might find like some truck that still has like the old school where you like have to crank it, but I mean that's just kind of how technology has advanced, and people now are accustomed to it. They're used to what should be implemented into any type of vehicles, and just with the usage of cryptocurrency or digital currencies, people are going to become more used to the idea of using it and more familiar with using it. Just like when individuals were writing checks, like my mom waiting in line, writing a check. 5 minutes later, oh, here you go. Compared to swiping a card. And in the beginning, a lot of people didn't really think like swiping this card, and of course it wasn't the easiest transition. Now granted, I was much younger at this time, but it wasn't the easiest transition from going to checks to debit cards, now switching over to credit cards, and now this credit card going over to digital currency. And really everything is digital. Whenever you get paid, if you have straight to your auto deposit, you're not actually getting the paycheck in your hand. Like, here's your paycheck, boom, there you go. You never see the money. I mean, yes, there is fiat currency, but people are already used to the idea of just seeing a number. So that's why a lot of people say people have bad spending habits, because they're not actually holding the money and here, take my money. And I think that's something that Ramsey, that's a big thing of his, which he's a different beast, but not really going there because not going there. But as far as they're already used to just seeing the number. So with digital currency, you still just see a number. All you do is just swipe your thing. Boom. I just swiped it and I just made a purchase. There's no having to swipe. I press a few buttons. Let me get a signature. And now we see the virus that's come out. You don't want to touch the pen and touch the screen that a million other people have touched. That's the big thing. And a lot of people are going to start going over to this digital currency because I touch my phone, I swipe it, and I don't touch anything. And everything's fine. That's just how it's going. So now that this has come out, it just gives more of an incentive for this digital currency to really reach an all peak. We can see that Bitcoin is coming up with the halving. So now that the halving is coming up, yes, people are like, oh, Bitcoin, everyone's so excited about this halving or whatever. I truly believe that there's still going to be a push. No, it's not going to be this push to $1 million a coin that's been said by people, but I know that there's going to be a change in momentum. This is just, again, what I believe. This isn't type of financial advice, but this is what I'm looking out for with this change in momentum. And you can even look at the graphs. If you go back to 2013, you go back to 2017, and now that we're going up to 2021, next year, you'll just see a trend. So Circuit really just has so much going for it. Again, what I was speaking of earlier for the iRacing, we're really injecting Circuit into iRacing. All of the racing games, really. Not that iRacing is a game, it's a simulator. I know people get really upset if you don't say simulator, so let me just say that. But it's really just injecting Circuit into everything, pushing it out, showing everyone the potential, and the reason that it's here. It's not so much here circuit, boom, there you go. Giving an idea and a reasoning of why circuit is, what it's capable of, and where it's going. And I mean, that's really just the biggest thing. So now that I've gone on a rant forever, if anyone has any questions, let me know. We've covered over the getting started. We covered over the mobile backgrounds. We have iOS. We have Android. We covered over, goodness, we covered over so much. The documents, the roadmap, the white paper, all the genres. Again, thank you to all the drivers, the partners, the sponsors. It's truly an honor to work with everyone. We don't take anyone for granted. That's the biggest thing with Circuit. Don't take anything for granted. We ensure that professionalism is always upheld. And that's not just professionalism in our work, but also professionalism within the workplace. No matter whatever position that you hold within Circuit, everyone's given the same amount of respect. No one is ever pushed over to the side or not listened to. Everyone has their own ideals when it comes to really anything, but that's what makes Circuit so amazing, is everyone's able to bring so much to the table. So thankful for our staff, for the fellow founding members. It's phenomenal working with them. Definitely, again, don't take it for granted, because these are phenomenal individuals, so much talent and so much capability. It's amazing. It really is. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much for your time. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to Circuit. Again, so much potential. And I know the next live stream, there's going to be so much more news to push out. With everything going on, we've really already set the marketing path that we're going about. So we can see that YouTube is going to be covered a lot. We already see that the reoccurring live streams are taking place, but now we're really focusing on a different aspect within the YouTube that I believe a lot of people are going to enjoy. It's not so much administrative as what we are covering now. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here. But it's going to be covering more of the entertainment side. And I think that's really important for everyone, because, yes, I could sit here and talk and ramble on forever, because I just seem to talk a lot. But more of the entertainment side, because who doesn't like the high speeds? And, of course, the people out there that like the crashes, of course. So, again, thank you so much for your time. I truly do appreciate it. If you do have any questions whatsoever, you can always visit us in the Discord. Everything's within the description below. You have the partners, you have the drivers, you have the sponsors, you have the Discord, you have the Twitter. Really, everything's down there. I believe that's about it. Thank you all so much for your time. I truly do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next live stream. Take care and have a good day.